This week, surveillance satellites, medical drones, and gaming for all the family.
Why don't they go outside and kick a ball about? That's the phrase that's often repeated by lots and lots of television presenters right after any item about video games is just run. Well, in the current circumstances where all real-world ball-kicking activities have been cancelled for the moment... Oh, so sad. A lifetime spent playing video games has better equipped millions of people for life in lockdown than all the doomsday prepping and toilet paper in the world. But for parents and carers, it can be difficult to find titles the whole family can enjoy, especially if you yourself don't play games. Help is at hand in the shape of an online guide designed to help parents who don't know their Mario from their Mortal Kombat. It's the work of journalist, YouTuber and father of three, Andy Robertson. Collaborating with the games industry, he's come up with a guide which navigates the modern gaming landscape. Parents can search for an individual title to see if it's right for them, or they can search through curated lists, which are categorised by the type of experience the games provide.
Talking to families, I'm often kind of suggesting games they should play. It can be quite hard to find games in a way that's presented to them with the information they need, which are things like PEGI rating, how long it will take to play, what's the kind of time commitment. It's designed for parents in a form that they can kind of access. A game that's just been released and is kind of quite timely is a game called Animal Crossing, which is played on the Switch. And this is a game where you kind of escape the world and you go to your own desert island. But that is quite an interesting experience because that ties the game to the real world clock. And so if there's things you need to do in the game at a particular time of day, you have to wait for that time in the day to go into it. So again, there's that benefit of games offering you this kind of routine.
The list also provides a heads up about features like loot boxes and content where games could be asking players to shell out extra cash to purchase in-game items.
You know, children may well and probably are using games to cope with what's happening in the world. They're finding meaning in games, finding calm and maybe a bit of hope, and a bit of control. And so if we just come in and just say what we need to do is just limit them, we can actually take away something that actually is very supportive for this particular time.
The Guardian newspaper's games editor, Keza MacDonald, has a podcast dedicated to parenting and gaming, and she's compiled a list for parents who may already be gamers but want to find titles the whole family can play.
So in my family, I have a 14-year-old stepson, a 3-year-old and a 7-month-old baby. Obviously the baby's way too young to play games with. I find with kids under 5, they don't really like levels and goals. They just want to play with it like it were a toy. And there are lots of really, really good games, especially on the iPad or an iPhone for that age group, especially everything by Tokaboka. And Sego Mini. And they are essentially digital toy boxes.
Is it difficult to find games that the family can all play together?
It is actually quite hard to find games that appeal to everyone, especially if you've got lots of kids of different ages. I find generally the best thing to do is to split your family up into units. So if you've got some teens, the teens and the adults can play together. If you've got little kids, the little kids can play with each other, or the adults and the little kids can play together. Unfortunately, I don't have any kids that are old enough to play the kind of thing I want to play. So my own gaming time has to happen in the evenings now if I have any energy left at the end of the day.